For adding in details to our jungle perspective landscapes, I have a lot of different how to draws for animals, trees, and jungle plants. If you guys want to look in Seesaw, you can, and I also have some printed out packets. If you don't like any of the how to draws that I have, you may also Google some to work from. You want to practice in your sketchbook first, because once it's on your good copy, it will be very hard to get rid of. So practice any animals or trees or plants that you'd like to work with in your work, and then you can begin drawing them out on your good copy. Remember that when we looked at Henry Rousseau's artwork, he had a lot of hidden animals. So I chose to begin by drawing out a lion in my sketchbook and then working on my lion hiding behind a tree. I also decided to add in a river, and when you're adding in things in your landscape, you want to remember that they will get smaller as they get farther away from you and larger as they are closer to you. So my river started out big near me and it's getting smaller as it goes away from me. In my river, I decided to use some different blues and whites to add texture to make it look like the river was running. I later went in and added a hippo peeking his head out of the water. I have a snake coming down from a tree. I have a big bird right up in front and then some smaller birds flying in the background. I also thought that there wasn't enough things filling up my space, so I decided to use my oil pastels to add in different trees. It's up to you how you make your jungle landscape, but you really want to think about layering things. So some things will be hidden in front of others, some things will stick out in front of others. Using your oil pastels, you want to very carefully color in everything that you've drawn. If you would prefer to draw with oil pastels instead of just drawing with pencil, that's up to you, but you want to be nice, comfortable, and confident before you're ready to move on to your good copies. When I was using my oil pastel, I messed up in some spots. My lion mane became huge and I had to go back in and color around it with the green to cover it up so it looked a little more natural. So take your time and think about everything that you want to add into your work. Remember that you have your sketchbooks to practice. There is not a rush for this. But if you do decide to add your animals and your trees, make sure you color them really solid so that they don't look see-through on your backgrounds. While you're working, don't forget that we talked about making things look realistic. So you want to add in as many details as you can into your work to make these animals and trees and plants look as realistic as possible. So adding in a lot of details is going to be necessary while you're working. You've added your details, your animals, your trees, your vines, your plants, and you believe that you're completely finished. Then you are going to go back in with some fluorescent oil pastels. These fluorescent oil pastels will glow in the dark for our Blacklight gallery in the art show. You can go in and touch some spaces up that you want to glow. All my details were drawn with regular oil pastels, and then I went back over certain spots with my fluorescent oil pastels to make sure that they are ready to glow in our Glow Blacklight gallery.